Listen to the drum sounds.
Let's take them for the wine seat. You shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at wine seat. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, wine seat. Wanna smoke? You know where it's at. At the wine seat with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, wine seat. Yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, wine seat. Last year we gave the folk the key to the wine seat. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the wine seat? Pull up and I get out here and freeze. Ayy, yeah, this is where it started at. Where your skills, where your rank, where your heart at. Where your fans, where your coaches, where your squad at. It's how you finish up the drill, it don't matter where you start at. Ayy, this is where all the games get litty. Ayy, yeah, tell me who gon' take it back to they city. Yeah, ayy, this is where all the greatest teams be. Game week, yeah, you know where to find me. Let's take them for the wine seat. You shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at wine seat. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, wine seat. Wanna smoke? You know where it's at. At the wine seat with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, wine seat. Yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, wine seat. Last year we gave the folk the key to the wine seat. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the wine seat? Pull up and I get out here and freeze. Ayy, wine seat. Can anybody beat rare breed at the wine seat? Voodoo going for a 5P at the wine seat. Big zip, solid concrete at the wine seat. Adamsville coming back to eat. Yeah, wine seat. Bessemer got two different teams in the wine seat. Them Buckeyes gon' crush them by the dreams at the wine seat. Them beat that cause it ain't no in between. Ayy, who leaving out of Florida with that ring? Let's take them for the wine seat. You shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at wine seat. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, wine seat. Wanna smoke? You know where it's at. At the wine seat with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, wine seat. Yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, wine seat. Last year we gave the folk the key to the wine seat. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the wine seat? Pull up and I get out here and freeze.
Yo, 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 Clay, it's another week of top-notch youth football. Welcome to Football Uncut. I'm Jonah Woolard with my partner in crime, Clayton Guillory, repping his DEF CON Texas vibes this morning, or this evening, I should say. Man, Clay, you saw some great football that took place this week. As we get closer and closer each week to the YNC Championship, some outstanding football being played. And some teams that's just really kind of separating themselves, and some teams and some age groups that's just really, I want to say, being very competitive. This weekend, of course, you saw 13U get busy. You talk about the Rare Breeds taking on the Miami Garden Ravens in Atlanta is one of the things you look at. We're still looking at this crazy race at 9 and under. You talk about 8 and under, still a close type race. And it's the gap closing on Voodoo. All things we'll discuss on the show today. Clay, you know, what stuck out to you this weekend just saying, man, youth football is back to its fullest?
Well, I mean, obviously the number one thing you got to talk about, man, is what Rare Breeds did facing the defending AYF champions, the Miami Garden Ravens. You know, that's a matchup that people have been talking about. Everybody's been wanting to see Flanagan versus Rod Mack, you know, and I think it didn't disappoint. You know, for myself, I was tied up. I actually did get tuned in until halftime, and when I hit it, I think Miami Gardens was up like 22-6. You know,
Yeah.
and as I'm watching the live, man, you know, Rare Breed is doing what a YNC national champion does. You know, they always say, man, that the heart of a champion can be tested when they face adversity, and that's what they did, man. They came out there, and you know, people can put any spin on it. They can say what they want, but whatever Flanagan told those boys at halftime,
Yeah.
he need to record it and sell that for $9.99
Bottle it up.
on all the platforms. Whatever speech
Right.
he gave those boys, he need
Yeah.
to record that, sell it for $9.99, man, and my man will make a ton of money off of that, man, because when I tell you those kids came out and they laid it out on the line, and when it was time to make plays, they made plays. And, you know, all you can really say is that, man, you got to take your hats off to them. Now, the thing that was very interesting to me is that that next morning I wake up to a text from Rod Mack that says, you know, I'm coming to the YNC, right?
Oh yeah, got
So,
to get that
hey,
bite back.
all I did, all I did is I said, "Hey, man, I don't even know why you ever left us." So,
Right.
I think it just builds up to how great everything is going to be December 2nd through the 8th. Hey, we done gave y'all some dates. It's in Wellington, Florida, December 2nd through the 8th. We want the top 8 teams in the country on every age level. It's going down, and what that game did, Jonah, I believe that for the masses, it showed everybody that as dominant as rare breeds are, they are human, number one. And now you've got 2 or 3 teams that do feel like they can dethrone Flanagan and company, man. So it's I think this year is going to be one of the most competitive national championships, one of the most competitive seasons in all
Yeah.
age brackets from top to bottom.
Absolutely. And would you say that gap has been closing for the rare breeds the last couple of years? We knew rare breeds had exceptional talent last year, Clay. You look what B5 is doing on the high school level now. He's left out,
Yeah.
no longer playing 13U football. He decided to really compete for the school system right now, and he's playing with a 5-star quarterback. He's making exceptional plays. Of course, he's a difference player. He played Iron Man football for Rare Breeds, but Rare Breeds have
Yeah.
been winning before and after B5, right? It may not be by the 40-point spread point, but they're still putting together wins. Against the Ravens, they put up a 22-0 second half of football.
Oh,
Going down 22-6. A lot of teams getting the bed. But here, Red Breeze put up 22 unanswered points. And this Ravens team, I think when this Raven teams learns how to close games, because we saw this against Southfield the year before when they were up 18, I want to say 18-6 in the half, Clay,
yeah.
that they were
Yep.
leading. And from that 18-6 lead, they got, walked down and ended up losing that game. But of course, number 9 went down in that game, which is a big part of their offense. If you don't know who number 9 is now, this kid, man, is the Ferrari of all Ferraris at the youth football, at the running back position. But, that is what you can kind of wrap up in red. But I agree with you said. Super competitive. I think the 13U is going to be a movie. Like when that 13U was crazy that year with Rampage and Outlaws with Kane Archer and all those different
Yep.
years like that.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
13U was off the chain that year.
That IMG year. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
oh gosh, man, I can't believe I'm drawing
And
a
even the
blank,
year
man.
with Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. Not Fort Lauderdale, Lauderdale Lions, Kane Archer, Louis. It was a lot of stuff going
It
on
was
there.
a lot of
Louisville
talent.
Chargers. A lot of talent, man. So you see that really just happening. So I think this year will be no exception. I think the 13U got some new life pumped into it. OG Ducks really doing it big on the West Coast. They're a team to reckon with, which I'm telling you, when they get in the mix, Clay, and you see the running backs that they have on there, they're just as talented as those. And then the 50 boys, of course, Boynton feel they can dethrone both of them. So 13U is going
So
to be crazy.
before we dig into 13U, because of course everybody on here, they want their blue magic. They want to see what them rankings look like, right?
Yeah,
They gotta have it. But
gotta
you
have it.
touched on something. You touched on something that I think a lot of people. It's kind of like the elephant in the room, right? Right now, there's a nice buzz coming from the West Coast about the OG Ducks on 13U, right?
Yeah.
It's a buzz that's talking about they might have the coaching staff, they might have the players in place, they might have what it takes to dethrone Georgia Rare Breed. But I think the thing that has always been kind of, how they say it's an unspoken truth. The physicality from the West Coast, it's not there anymore.
Mm.
You cannot come over and play Georgia, Texas, Florida, Alabama, and not be physical on both sides of the ball. Physicality, not just from your bigs up front, but physicality from your skill positions, man. And as a whole, I have not seen that come from the West Coast at all in some years now, especially when we talk about the youth scene, you know? So my question is, as amazing as they look right now, I just don't think that they have the physicality to compete with
Well,
the elite teams from Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida. I mean,
Boy, Clay, you
even in
better
some
not let
cases,
those California
DMV.
people catch you out in these football streets because they'll tell you they high
Listen,
school
man.
football
Listen,
teams.
I can only
You
tell the
hold
truth,
on,
Jonah.
you're a high school coach. Would you say the same thing about their high school programs in California right now?
So I think if you're talking about in total,
On a
you are.
national
Now you have
scene.
some exceptions. You have some exceptions. Like you cannot discredit what Martin Day is, right? You can't discredit them in that program. There are some exceptions, but if we're talking about a total as a whole, I don't think the West Coast is near as physical as the rest of the country, right? And you can even see that on the college level. You know, I mean, I'm just being honest with
Clay,
you.
are you listening to yourself right now? Have you ever heard the word poly? Do you know what a poly is on an offensive line?
I
Bosco,
understand what a
modern day
poly is. I understand what a poly is.
physical.
But what I'm telling
The
you
only
is
reason
there has not
California's
been a
been
youth
dominant,
team.
yeah,
There has not been a youth team of
right,
polys from age 6U through 12U or now
yeah,
13U that have
yeah,
come over and been physical enough
and bully
as
people around,
the Southern teams. Now, at 14U, they have that. It's almost like at 14, they decide they want to get physical. But
right.
I'm just saying right now, bro.
So we could both agree that 14U is dominated by the West Coast.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's dominated by the West Coast. Without a doubt.
So when they get to the age group, they say, you know what, we finna strap it up and play football. That's what you're saying.
I I think what it is by the time they get to 14U, they like, listen, man, we're gonna put all these egos aside, all this arguing and
And we're gonna
bickering.
load
Let's
up
go
on the
ahead and
talent.
let's put the best team together with these coaches, man, and let's go do the thing. And in youth ball, everybody still they want to be the chief. You know what I'm saying? At 10U, I still want all the kids. At 12U, nah, we don't fool with him. You right? But by the
Right,
time we get 14U, it's like, look, this is the last ride. We ain't won a championship yet. Let's go and do it
right,
the right way.
right. Clay, let's mix it up today. Let's start. So 14U will drop 14Us next week just because we wanted to see all of them play. But let's go in reverse today, Clay. Let's start from 13U and wind it down to 6U. Just
Okay, I'm with that.
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
with that.
I mean, I got my
Yeah.
little vibes lined up here. I'm just taking it all in. I'm gonna actually kick off with 13U. You'll take some evens today. So
All
13,
right.
we just talked about some big games that took place over there, but today we're going to talk about the teams that's on the rise. 5 teams that we feel can break, that have the capability to break into the top 10 of youth football. And I'm probably catching Al way off guard. I'm sure he got his slides set up, set 6U to 13U. I'll probably just oh man, he probably about to shut the whole production down. If the screen go black, y'all know it was Al who pissed. But I'll give him some time to get there. Let's see if we can pull up the 13U, right? And I'll talk about it as he gets there. So 13U, Clay, we talk about a team out of Hawaii. Team Ahua coming out of Hawaii brings in the 15th spot from 13 and under. Very interesting for Hawaii to get in the mix and see if they can do some major things on a national level. Of course, Southfield Falcons, this is a team that we want to see. It's going to really, if they can bounce back, can they get some big wins against the teams of the Ravens? They came up a little short last year, had a big win against the Ravens last year, but can that carry over to the 2024 season? Westside Cubs coming out of Michigan as well, competing for a King of the Hill in Michigan between Southfield and the Arizona Suns on the West Coast being physical at the 13 and under at 12 and under. This is what we're talking about. We have some polys. We have some big boys over there. And, of course, Certified South out of Missouri representing the Midwest. Now, breaking into the top 10 and representing top 10 for 13 and under. We'll come back there. Stonecrest Spartans coming out of Georgia, repping the number 10 spot. Coming at the number 9 spot, holding it down, it's the Tribe, Las Vegas Tribe, representing out of
Okay.
Nevada. Okay. And
Okay.
of course, representing on the East Coast from that DMV area. Shout out to Team DMV University, holding it down at the number 8 spot. Holding down at the number 7 spot, Air Academy, Washington, Seattle. Make it happen, Big Reg. It's time to go ahead and get these boys on the next level. And of course, Trademan Elite Jaguars, a mixed team this year, showing some signs of being great. We're getting those big games. They haven't been able to put it together to break into the top 5 as of yet. And a team that's always physical, Clay. One I can tell you about is Primetime Select, the Giants out of North Carolina. And this is the team we're talking about. Don't disrespect these boys. This is a physical team. They have a defensive end representing for the OG Ducks, who's basically unblockable. Give a shout out to number 4, the OG Ducks. Then number 3, taking a recent loss against Rare Breeds, giving up 22 points and a half. Will they have enough to get back up on top? The Miami Garden Ravens bringing in at the number 3 spot. And then the number 2 spot who challenged for the runner-up for the national championship last year, Boynton Beach Bulldogs. Now, listen, if Ravens didn't take that loss and if they didn't have that matchup, do I feel that the Ravens are playing top-notch football right now? I do. I really do. Do I think they might could pull out a win against Boynton? We can't shadow box it. Last time they got on the football field, Boynton beat, they won. So until Miami Garden Ravens faces Boynton Beach again, you got to give the Bulldogs a nod over the Ravens, as the last time they got on the football, they walked away with the dub. And the number 1 team in the land, it's getting a little bit closer. They're a little bruised, they're a little battered, but they're still the champ. They came out looking like Rocky with a black eye, but at the end of the day, their hand was held up high. Championship belt is still on their shoulders. Their Rare Breeds being rare as ever, putting up 22 points and a half. Only rare vibes can happen in that. The number 1 team, 13 and under, your Rare Breeds out of Georgia.
Well, I can tell you what, Jonah, man, I'm looking at this list and it's solid from top to bottom, right? Of course, you know, people going to have their opinions, but I think that right now, where we are in the season this early, you know, first week of September, this is about as solid as you can get from 1 through 15. But here's something I want to kind of point out to you. Like we talked about, YNC Nationals, Wellington, Florida is going down December 2nd through the 8th. If it was national time right now, we would be taking the top 8 teams in the country. Let me show you how this thing would slice up. Now, people don't be mad at me, don't shoot me, but what I'm talking about is how this thing would slice up right now based upon traditionally what these teams have done. You would see Rare Breeds at the YNC. You would see Boynton Beach at the YNC. Just got a commitment from Rod Mack that you would see the Miami Garden Ravens at the YNC and the OG Ducks. So that's the top 4 in the country right now. Primetime select Giants most likely will go another route based off of past experiences. You're going to have Trey Man Elite going to be there. I do think that Reggie would bring this team there, right? DMVU would go another route. I don't know that much about Las Vegas Tribe, so that's a 50-50 flip. And I think that Stonecrest is finally ready to jump onto the YNC scene. So just out that top 10 right there, you have 8 of the top 10 in the country based off of their previous patterns would come to YNC, man. You can't ask for a better field than that. You can't ask for a better field than that.
Definitely a movie. Definitely a movie. Now, speaking of movies, let's talk about 12U, Clay.
12U, man. Let me go and pull everything up.
Into the top 15.
All right, so let's talk about 12U, guys. And we'll start off with our On the Rise teams, right? Starting off at number 15, representing the West Coast. And I know y'all just heard me talk about how traditionally the West Coast hadn't been as physical as your Southern states. But this number 15 team, man, I feel like by the end of the season, they're going to work their way into the top 10. And that is the LA Rams, Baby Rampage, right? Sitting at number 14, another organization off the West Coast that always traditionally has some really great teams, Arizona Champions, right? At number 13, you have the Bearcats. Now, Bearcats out of Washington. This might be a little bit different vibe here, man. I'm going to have to do a little research on them and find out how good they really are. At number 12, you have the Benson Bruins, right? We have heard about the Benson Bruins every single year for the past 3 or 4 years. I'm hoping that they are ready to jump on the big stage, man, work their way into the top 10, and come on and test their mettle at the YNC. Sitting at number 11, NTB Bad Boys, out the Midwest, St. Louis, right? And now we roll into our top 10 12U teams in the country. Starting off at number 10, you have the Charge Up Bulls out of Virginia. Now, I don't know, Jonah. Is this a spinoff? Well, I ain't going to say a spinoff. Is this a merger that happened of a couple organizations, or is this a new team that have rebranded themselves?
Look, it's a spinoff, joining up, and everybody trying to get all the Spanish names in together. When you don't want to give up your last name, you know, Rodriguez, Sanchez, Garcia.
Okay, all right, I get it. Hey, whatever get everybody going. Sitting at number 9, North Philly Blackhawks, always representing the PA, right? Number 8, And this is a organization that has a long tradition, very proud organization. They always have some great teams. Watkins Bounty Boys out of DC. Number 7, Atlanta Elite Lambeau. My man Howard, my man Coach Brad, right? They got it going on. Now, they tweaking some things, but I think when it's time to hit everything in December, they're gonna be ready to go. Sitting at
Yeah.
number 5, also representing Atlanta, Georgia, the ABA Bulldogs. They came to the preseason event, showed us some things, and I think they are deserving of that number 6 ranking. Number 5, Bullet Football Academy out of DFW, out of Texas. It's gonna be interesting to see how they continue to tweak things throughout the season because I know they're going a little bit different route with their regular season schedule. Sitting at number 4, Texas Elite. Like I said, coaches, if you want to win, let Bull spin. That's all you got to do. Let that young man work and everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Number 3, Alpha Dogs out of Florida. Alpha Dogs a little bit upset with us, right? They left the YNC with a bad taste in their mouth, but we still have to respect the body of work that those kids performed. And that earns them that number 3 ranking. Sitting at number 2, coming out of Florida, the Osceola Cowboys, and I can tell you, after talking with that coach, they really want another shot at the number 1 team in the country, defending YNC national champion. You know them as Big Zip. I'm gonna call them the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, man. Number 1 12U team in the country. It is going to be interesting to see how this whole thing unfolds because right now, I believe that the Hurricanes are the by far favorite in the entire age group. But I think these teams are putting some pieces together, man, to try
But
to, as you
hold
would
on,
say,
Clay. Hold on. Don't
close
try to
that gap.
jump on. Don't try to jump on my Zip bandwagon now. I told you 2 weeks,
Oh,
three
here we
weeks
go.
ago. Big Zip,
Here we go.
pound for pound, is the best team in youth football. Oh no, man, it's Voodoo. Look what Voodoo did over the last 100 years since they've been 6U.
Oh no,
Man,
Voodoo's still the
listen.
number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, in their
Voodoo
age
is
group.
still the best team in the country, pound for
Okay,
pound.
look,
Are
watch
you
this.
listening
I'm
to
gonna put
me?
it in the public poll right now. If anybody
I
who
don't care
watches youth
what public
football,
polls
hold on,
say.
watch this, Clay.
Listen,
Listen.
I don't care what the public
Okay,
polls say.
people,
You
you
listen
vote.
to the
Pound
public.
for
They have you
pound,
thinking that you're not supposed to discipline your kids, neither. I'm just telling you
man.
right now. Nobody can touch Voodoo's resume. Period.
Okay, listen. Uh, Back in the day, Obama was a great president. Has nothing to do with what your boy got going on Biden right now. That's back in the day. 6U don't count in 10U right now. Okay.
Hey, look,
What's the
look at your
odds?
comments, Jonah.
Who can
Look at your
when
comments,
you no
Jonah.
no? This is the
Voodoo,
question you got to ask yourself.
voodoo, voodoo.
I love
All I
Voodoo.
see on the screen is voodoo, voodoo.
Okay,
Look at your
pound
comments,
for
Jonah.
pound. Listen,
Voodoo,
pound for pound. Who is the
voodoo.
most
Jonah,
dominant
I'm
team in
looking
youth
at
football?
I'm looking at 10 voodoos for 1 zip.
Look, man. Now you got more zips. Look at the score. Look. Okay, I'll put it this way. Big
Voodoo,
Zip.
voodoo.
Big Zip
Everybody
just
is saying
played.
voodoo.
Okay, let me watch it. So you had the AYF champ go against the YNC champ at 13U. It was what, a 2-point win? 13U?
Correct,
All right.
correct.
AYF champ played against Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes the same weekend. It was running clock first quarter. So
Listen, brother.
Voodoo is going to say,
Just
and I can
because.
guarantee, hold on, I can guarantee you
Go ahead.
every
Go ahead.
Voodoo right now is going to be somebody from the 404 supporting Atlanta. And you know, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes not going to have the big support that's going to be on the show right here. But pound for pound, I just proved it to you. They played the AYF champs. They beat them by 30-something points. Rare Breeds, they squeaked out by 2 points, had to do a comeback. It's not close. It's not close. It's not
Jonah,
close. Big Zip.
Jonah, listen, brother. Listen, brother. I get it. You live down there. You got to see
Uh-huh.
them people every day. They might set your Lambo truck on fire. I
Yeah. Hey,
understand all that.
did my
But
Lambo
listen
truck
to me.
have anything to do with that 30 points that was put up in the first quarter?
Listen to what I'm telling you, brother. You also the same man that was talking on here praising the flock, and you saw what happened. I'm telling you, when it comes to the YNC, voodoo is the standard. Period. You did?
Oh yeah, listen, they get the lifetime achievement award. The Lionel Richie Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Voodoo, 100%. But the most dominant team in 2024 is Big Zip. Don't play yourself, bro. I got
Listen, man,
numbers. Men and women lie.
I like Big Zip. I love what they do. I love what they do. I love their coaching staff. I love the players. I love the way that they play. But what I'm telling you is that they are the number 2 youth football team in the country, pound for pound. Voodoo by far is number 1. It's not even close.
Wow. Based off what, brother? How your gut feel?
Do you want to pull up the resume,
Because
Jonah?
if we're gonna talk numbers, are you dismissing? Voodoo was in a dogfight in preseason. They was in a dogfight. The dogfight for Big Zip is pregame. That's their dogfight. Pregame. Once they kick off the ball, it's over with. All right. So look,
Jonah, you
we'll
can't
continue
you
that.
can't
Let's
sell
jump
me
into 11.
bullshit. I know the prices.
Hey, listen, because you're a coach of a Christian school. Relax. Okay. Okay, look. Here we go, man. 11 and under. Let's get rocking to it. The top 5 or the top 5 teams trying to break into the top 10. Of course, let's kick it off. Sweetwater coming out of Florida, holding it down at the number 15 spot. Of course, on the West Coast, it's Dynamite. Oakland Dynamite's holding it down at the number 14 spot. Havoc Gold out of Texas at the number 13 spot. Shout out to them boys, Tucker Lions. They all on the internet. They selling out. They feeling good about themselves. Big recent wins. Shout out to Tucker Lions making it look good. At the number 11 spot, hey, Coach Hess, congratulations. The gold jacket looks great. You're looking good with the bus. Now it's time to get back to business. Get your youth football team out there to play some national games so you can break into the top 10. Everything is earned and not given. We love that you made it for the NFL Hall of Fame, but that ain't going to squeeze you in the top 10 over here at YNC Generation X. Top 10, GU, Gainesville United, bringing in at the number 10 spot. At the number 9 spot, representing Virginia, Beastin Tigers, representing at the 9 spot. Listen, the Coast was representing at the 8 spot, Treasure Coast, that is, Treasure Coast Spartans. At the number 7 spot, Ali Elite Mob, representing Kentucky, representing Tennessee, the Mega Mix. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I haven't seen this name at the number 6 spot in a while. I don't think I ever have in youth football since they've been introduced to the stage. But Twin City is all the way down to the number 6 spots, taking a loss handed to them by the Miami Gardens Ravens. And they should be happy because after taking that L, 2 losses for this team that has been back-to-back champions. What's going on with the Twin City Outlaws? Are they the same? Are they having some internal issues? Are they having offensive issues? This is a game we really wanted to see against, and this was a champ on champ. Now, we know this hasn't been Twin City's best outcoming, but this was a champ on champ matchup. And that ain't looking good for YNC. Twin City, tighten up, my man. Tighten up. All right. At the number 5 spot, they're starting to get out the international mix. Give a shout out to them boys over there at DEA. You know, they not dodging the dust. It look like they got some big games lined up. As a matter of fact, they got the Georgia Eagles coming up soon. They'll be able to settle some dust. And a big win, shout out to Miami Garden Ravens, knocking off Twin City, coming up to Georgia, representing on a national level. Holding it down, Panama Poppy and the crew, Panama Tarrant City Ducks, holding
Panama
it down
Poppy.
at the number 3 spot. Panama Poppy. And the top 2 teams in the nation. Tough defensive squad, Montgomery Cardinals. Look, Montgomery, careful. You ain't going to hold this number 2 spot. We want to see a little bit more active nationally because this is rocking and rolling at this 11 and under. Get some games in, but right now they're holding down the Montgomery Cardinals and the undisputed, unequivocal team that I just thinking is up in those top 5 teams for pound. Give a shout out to them boys, the Flying High, Georgia Eagles, the number 1 team at the 11 and under, holding it down on Generation X Youth Sports Network.
You know, Jonah, as I take a look at this list, man, you know, I mean, I must agree it's a solid list. There are a few tweaks I would make, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, all in all, I think this one is solid. You know, I mean, I still think that in my eyes, and this is in Clayton's eyes, right? This is in Clayton's eyes. I still think that, you know, if you want a shot at the Georgia Eagles, if you DEA, you should have been in the YNC and played the Georgia Eagles after you done battled two heavy opponents 2 days in a row and then try to knock off the Georgia Eagles on the third day. Don't go play the Georgia Eagles after you done studied 8 of their games and you done had 2 months to rest, right? But that's just me, bro. I'm just cut from a different cloth, right? So, but, you know, but outside of that, man, I think good solid list, I
So you
think
think
what
they
it
should
what it
drop 2
does show
spots
though.
for not taking the heat, not jumping in the gauntlet? They should be like number 7 right now.
Who, DEA?
Yeah.
I would put them top 10, right? I don't think they don't need to be as high as 5. I would probably say maybe 7 or 8, somewhere around that range, right?
Courtney
But
has dubbed
I
you
mean,
as a hater, Clay. He's just put it out here. He said
I'm
hater.
not worried about Courtney Jackson. I'm not worried about Courtney Jackson at all.
Listen, the
Not at
way you
all.
say his
Not at
name
all.
just that just makes it feel like a
Because
non Courtney. Courtney.
unlike a lot of people in this world, I understand
I'm
how
not worried
Courtney
about Courtney Jackson.
minds work. I understand how his mind work, and yeah, he definitely doing what's best for his team. But I'm just saying, to hold that number 1 spot, man, you need to battle the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Don't give me 2-3 weeks in between, though, man. But I think it'll be
Courtney,
a
you
great
heard him.
game, man. I
Courtney.
think it'll be a great game.
Courtney.
So,
You heard him.
it said Courtney.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. All right. Well, Clay, man, let's let you jump into 10 and under action,
That
brother.
10U. That 10U, man. Let's get this 10U started. Let's get that 10U started. All right. So let's get that thing started on 10U. Sitting at number 15, right? 10th Street out of Kentucky. I must admit, this is a new organization for me, right? This is a new organization for me. So this is somebody I'm going to definitely keep my eye on, man, and continue to
Yeah.
watch them as they progress throughout the season. But they have done some things in the Midwest. They've done some things in the Midwest to really get everything going. Now, sitting at number 14, I'm assuming this is a typo because I don't know about the high Raiders, but I do know about the LA Raiders out of California. And I do
Nah,
know that they
baby.
bring
Harbor
that back.
Raiders, baby. That is ain't no typo. Get recognized. Harbor,
That's
baby.
the high
Not the
Raiders?
harbor. Yes, sir. Harbor area.
Okay.
Harbor area Raiders.
Okay. Now that makes sense.
Yes,
That
sir.
makes sense. All right. Cool. So sitting at number 13, North Philly Blackhawks, again, an organization that always has good football coming from the East Coast. Number 12, the Georgia Rattlers. And I have been getting a lot of messages from Georgia about this Rattlers team. So I
Yeah.
am happy to see that all those kids' hard work is finally paying off for them, man. And it'll be interesting to watch them throughout the rest of the season. And sitting at number 11, DMV University, the Ferrari Boys. Now, as we jump into the top 10 teams in the country, 8 of these guys are going to get an invite to the Youth National Championship December 2nd through the 8th. The question is who it's going to be as they progress through the regular season. Sitting at number 10, Legacy U Hurricanes out of the big state of Ohio, right? And right above them at number 9 is their, I guess this is probably their biggest rivalry, right? Right in state.
Gotta be.
Cincinnati Elite Bearcats, the Sawboys, out of Ohio as well. When those two lock up, it's always a classic battle. Sitting at number 8, you have the 404 Bulls out of Georgia, another organization that's always had loaded with talent, which is hard to do when you talk about all the talent that's saturated in Georgia. Number 7, the Montgomery Cardinals out of Alabama.
Yeah.
It's going to be another competitive age level because one thing about those teams there is that just in their league alone, they're going to face 2 or 3 top 15 or 20 teams. And, to win that league championship really speaks volume. Sitting at number 6 might be the best named team in the country, right? Might be
Right.
the best named team in the country, man. Everybody, say it with me and feel how it roll off your tongue.
North
The
Jonah
North
Eagles.
Clayton Eagles,
Oh.
man, out of Georgia, man. Listen, I need somebody from North Clayton to send me a shirt, right? Send me a shirt, send me a hoodie, whatever. I want to be North Eagled. I want to be North Clayton Eagled out by the next show, man.
Right.
Hit me up, man. I want to represent the brand, right? Just like I got
Right.
DEFCON Texas right here. I want to have North Clayton on my chest, right? All right. Number 5, Bessemer Tigers out of Alabama. I mean, the name speaks for itself. The organization speaks for itself. Organization of the year, right? Over the past couple of years, I mean, they just know how to make it happen. Sitting at number 4, you have the Mac Dolphins. Mac Dolphins, who came to the YNC preseason and really showed why they are one of the best teams in the country. Number 3, the family, West Orlando Jaguars. And the one thing that they told me before they left Panama City was that, Clayton, when it comes December, we going to have something for Voodoo, right? Sitting at number 2, Southeast Dallas Wolverines, SED. Hey, they got close. Just wasn't close enough. We'll see how much they improve from July through December. And then the number 1 team in the country, Atlanta Elite Voodoo, not just the number 1 9U team in the country. I'm sorry, not just the number 1 10U team in the country, but the number 1 youth football team, pound for pound, in all of these United States of America. No matter what Jonah Woolard tries to sell you, you cannot imitate, you cannot duplicate, you cannot copy and paste the resume that Voodoo holds. And I'm out.
I hope you don't jinx them people how you jinx Howard and them boys. You used to call Lambeau the number 1 team in the universe. Now my dog Howard on the corner smoking Newports, drinking MB 2020, trying to get a win. Dang. Listen, so this 9 and under that's about to come up, Al, do me a favor, don't post it just yet, because I don't want to reveal how this 9 and under is going to reveal, because let me tell you, Clay, on 9 and under, everyone's taking a loss. There's no undefeated 9 and under team. It doesn't exist. So as we sit down here, we go through the rankings. Well, this team by beating by this amount of points. This team lost on a Tuesday. This one lost on a Saturday. This one, mama is an Aries. That one's a Virgo. So the Virgo, it's a lot going on the 9 and unders, my brother. So I'm gonna just kind of preview it to it. And before we get to the 9 and unders, I want to give a shout out that we have a new segment starting next week that's going to break down from a female perspective. We're going to have 3 girls, 3 women that come in here and represent from a coaching perspective. And I'll introduce them, of course, Coach E. You know her as Coach Erica. She's been the head coach of the Louisiana Grizzlies, won some big games. We went out there like 4 years ago, interviewed her and the team, and they've only been better and better. Coach, you also know Jelena out of Texas. She has a great eye on a lot of those teams out there and always has great insight when it comes down to breaking football. These are not just girls just because they're girls, but they really give you some great perspectives about some of the top youth football players in teams. And, of course, Coach Queen down here in Miami, giving her articulate perspective on youth football. So those 3 will really break down their top players of the week. They'll be breaking down some break plays and what player really rep their city. And then they'll break down some specific age groups starting next week. So it's something to look forward to. And I'll give a shout out to the Walk 'em Down gang. That's your team, Clay. So when they send you your gear, not only will you have your North Clayton gear, but they're called the Walk 'em Down gang, WDG. So I'm sure when they go ahead and hook you up, hey, get
Right
Clay
there.
an extra small. He likes to wear it tight with a knot in the back. So tighten my dog
I'm
up.
going to represent.
Get him all the gear.
I'm representing. North
Represent.
Clayton.
All right, here we go. Top 9U teams in the country. I'm going to wait till we get to those top 5, then we'll release it. But coming in at the number 15 spot, holding it down for the state of Georgia, Georgia Falcons in the house. At the number 14 spot on the West Coast, doing the West Coast Crip Walk, Relentless. That's right, Relentless out of California, undefeated on the season, 6-0. Clay, you're going to be hearing a lot more of this team out of California for the 9 and under. Coming in at the 13 and under, listen, they've already been on the tour. They just got to start picking up some wins. PME out of Virginia, representing at the 13th spot. Huffman, representing at the 12th spot out of Texas. And Indy Boys over there, Indy Firehawks holding it down at the number 11 spot. Now breaking into the top 10. Listen to me carefully. Representing Florida, FLA, Duval Jags at the number 10 spot. And the DMVU, the No Limit Boys, the No Limit Soldier Boys holding it down at the number 9 spot. And a team that's trying to get back into the mix. Oh, can they do it? Can the dog pound be relevant again in youth football? They come in at the number 8 spot, Clay. And, of course, holding it down, you know them as the Gorilla Mob out of Texas, number 7 spot. Number 6 spot, before we get to those top 5 teams, holding it down, Wahoma Seminoles. All right, top 5 teams in the nation. Dallas Elite Mustangs coming in at the number 5 spot. Twin City Outlaws with the big win over So Icy gets them into the top 5 teams of the nation. Can they maintain that juice? Can they remain, that team that's with the hot hand right now? And just being removed from the number 1 spot, being knocked off from a team that wasn't ranked, lucky to hold and lucky to still be in the top 5, Clay. So Icy Boys moves from the number 1 spot to the number 3 spot right now, and holding it down at the number 2 spot. Real deal. Hey, you got to go ahead. This is the RDU team. This is the big boys. They're used to being in this spot. Coach Pimp, he ready to pimp out the 9U for the rest of the way, and back
Hold
to
on.
a familiar
Hold on.
spot.
Hold on, Jonah. Hold on. What team is this?
Which one you talking about?
Number 2. Hold on. Who is this?
Real deal. RDU.
Who's the head coach?
Coach Pimpy Pimp.
So they not the Georgia Eagles no more?
Well, they're Georgia Eagles. That's correct. But these names change a lot, Clay. You just got to roll with the punches, man.
That's what's confused. That's why I was looking so confused. I'm like, how we don't have the Georgia Eagles on here?
Hey,
And then you
there
hit
been
me
3
with this.
teams
All
in the
right,
last
I'm
few
gonna
years.
shut
What do
up.
you want,
I'm sorry.
bro? Your
I'm sorry.
graphics guy
I'm
got to
sorry.
keep up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna rename you next year, bro. You won't be Clay.
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't understand. I didn't even know what was going on.
Oh man, and at the number
Listen,
1 spot, back to
listen, fam. I've been so locked in on my season that stuff like this has definitely slipped past me. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, brother.
Hey, welcome back to youth football. Oh
I
man.
guess.
Welcome back to youth football. And if it's not a name change, it's gonna be one of those, one of those nicknames that, zip them up, first 48. I see your mama before I see your mama, boys. You know what I'm saying? But listen, Bessemer Tigers, they're keeping it generic. They're keeping it what it is. They're taking their city and they're taking a logo and riding out with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
back
Okay.
to the number 1 spot by default. Bessemer Tigers. Can they go wire to wire with it? But again, you have a great field there of top 9U teams. All jokes aside, anybody could win this. There's no team favorite. We want to say before this year that Bessemer Tigers was dominant. That was a team that was said that was going to come out there and win it all. But can you say that this year, Clay? Can they beat So Icy when it counts? Can they beat Twin City when it counts? Can they beat Georgia
Yeah.
when it counts? Georgia, can they come out on top? So, and Dog Pound, will they ever be able to score in some of these big games? So there's a lot of questions in this 9 and under, man. A lot of action going on.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jonah. I mean, you
Yeah.
got this 9 and under popping right now. I'm gonna jump into this 8U, but I'm still a little confused. I'd be lying to you if I tell you I wasn't, because I thought it was real deal Georgia Eagles. Now I'm seeing real deal GEA Panther. I don't know what to think, man. I guess whatever uniform and team name shows up in Wellington is what we're going with. I don't know. I don't know no more. I'm just so confused. All right, so with that said, man, we're gonna roll right on into 8U because I know a lot of y'all got a lot going on, right? So we're gonna start with the top 5 on the rise who are trying to jump into our top 10. Start at number 15, Duval Jaguars out of Florida, man. Sitting at number 14, you have the Virginia Bulls, man. I really would like to see them on our platform if they would just give us an opportunity, right? Number 13, Dirty Birds, elite out of Missouri, representing the Midwest. They've been racking up win after win after win in their area. Let's see what they do in the national scene. See a little bit more
Yeah.
national work to watch them, climb the ladder. Sitting at number 12, Tennessee Mob Elite. And Jonah, if I'm not mistaken, man, they really showed us some things last time we put our eyes on them. So it'll be interesting to see how much development they have achieved from when we saw them last to now. Sitting at number 11, Bessemer Tigers, right? We know what they're going to do, man. And the great thing about them and a lot of others that we're gonna name, they are all in that very competitive league. So when they get through with their playoffs, normally their champion is ready for the national championship.
Yeah.
Sitting at number 10, Space City Bounty Boys. Hey, just like DEA say I'm a hater, Space City says I'm a hater too. That's not it. I just hold you guys to a different standard, especially when you representing the TE to the X, right? And here's the thing, Space City, dominate your league, but please, 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 let's transition, because what you did in the preseason not gonna work in December. I'm just being honest with you, right? Just being honest with you. Sitting at number 9, MBK Tigers, right? At number 8, now here's a name that a lot of people was throwing around in the preseason. A lot of questions was asked on why they wasn't in Panama, but we're going to watch them throughout the season and let's see what's happening. The Peter Park Panthers out of Alabama. Now, number 7, Real Deal GEA Panthers. I think this name is the right name, but I don't know because it might change on me tomorrow. So I'm just gonna keep it
Oh
rolling.
boy.
Sitting at number 6, Rare Breeds. Number 5, representing DFW, TNT. Sitting at number 4, Pompano Chiefs. Where did Pompano come from? Where did Pompano come from? Big win here, big win
Pompano,
there.
Pompano had a big win this weekend, man. Knocked off
Exactly.
Rare Breed.
Exactly.
Knocked off
That's what I'm
Rare
saying.
Breed.
Big week, big win here, big win there. Now they in the
Yep.
conversation. Sitting at number 3, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, right? They are in a very competitive league as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle their league play and
Black
if they
Hawk
can go
Boys.
undefeated
One
to
of them
get
nicknames
back,
again.
to the big show. Oh yeah, Black Hawk Boys. Sitting at number 2, the Atlanta Elite ATM Boys. Now I don't know if they went to a
ATM
Chase
Boys.
ATM or not, because you got to be careful with them Chase ATMs lately. But Atlanta Elite, whether it's Chase, Wells Fargo, First whatever, they say they cards work. And sitting as the number
Oh
1 team
boy.
in the country, defending YNC national champions, defending YNC preseason champions, Adamsville Tigers.
So
That's your
Clay, you
top
got
15.
the Black Hawk Boys, you got the ATM Boys, and you got the Billionaire Boys, all right
Oh
together.
boy. Hey,
This is
can I get
this
some
is where our future is going. Hey, who you play for?
why
Oh, I play for the ATM Boys. You know what I'm saying? I play for the ATM
is
Boys. Yeah, I play
somebody
for
gonna
the
keep it
Ticket Bus
100?
Boys.
Somebody gonna keep it 100?
Yeah,
We're gonna say, listen,
yeah,
we the child support boys. We the child
right.
support boys. We the Wick Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Not the child support boys.
We the child support boys. Yeah. All our
Yeah,
baby
dog.
daddies
Hey,
play.
who you
They
play
pay on
for?
time.
Nah, I play for the Government Cheese Boys, dog. Cheeseheads.
Shit.
Government
Hey,
Cheese
yeah.
Boys.
You can't be on this squad unless your baby daddy pay his child support on time. Huh.
Oh,
The
you can't be on this
CS
squad
boys.
unless you get government cheese delivered to the crib, boy. Nah,
You know,
you got a
hey, the
silver
Wick
spoon in your
Warriors,
mouth.
baby.
Government cheese, boy. You ain't praying here to go. You need to come here with
We the
that
Wick
block of
Warriors. You
cheese.
know what it
But
is.
come with the block of cheese and practice underneath your arm.
Shit.
Oh man. So look, these boys are the 7 and under. It's an active group here, boy. This group gonna be live here. I should say,
Oh yeah.
amen. A new number 1 team at the 7 and under. I would cause all type of hell, Roy. New number 1 team at 7 and under coming up right now here on Generation Next. And we should go to a commercial, Clay, and make them wait.
Oh.
Sizzle. You know what I'm saying?
And
We're going to
they'll be
release that new
chopping
number
you up
1
in the
for 7U
comments.
right after these messages.
They would be
Coming
chopping you up in the comments.
sponsored by the Government Cheese Boys. Yeah, my son played for the Food Stamp Spartans, dog. So look, number 7, 7 and under. The number 15 team holding it down, trying to break into the top 10. The Dirty Birds out of Missouri holding it down. At the number 14 spot, Twin City Outlaws out of Georgia holding it down. Out of Florida, Polk Elite Rattlers just took a big loss, Clay. This was the number 2 team last year.
They
How do you
were.
drop from the
Yep.
number 2 to you on the outside, on the rise, looking outside. Why? You got to play football. You got to get these wins. We told these teams, man, get in preseason early, get this work, because when the regular season comes, you start taking these losses late in September, October, man, it's going to be a problem. Now, also at the number 12 spot, the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes on the outside looking in right now, trying to push, and Adamville's Tigers comes in at the 11th spot, holding it down for Alabama. For the DMV, we're back. DMV, NWA boys, NWO boys holding it down. And the Hemi boys at the number. Hey, man. The Hemi boys, representing Georgia. Okay. And it don't get no better here. The number 8 spot, the So Icy boys, holding it down at the number 8 spot out of Georgia. The number 7 spot, SED Wolverines holding it down for Texas. And at the number 6 spot, West Orlando Jags holding it down for Florida. And of course, at the number 5 spot, True Motion Sharks. That should have been a top 2 team there, man. But got to win all the way through the season. And of course, the Lions representing out of Georgia, Lithonia holding down the number 4 spot. And now, a team, here we go. Real Deal. Is this the right name again, Clay? Or you're not sure? There's a lot of Real Deals out here. Real Deal GE Panthers holding it down for Georgia. And at the number 2 spot, coming from their defending national championship, not standing on the top of the hill anymore, would be the Bessemer Tigers, but they still got it in reach as they're trailing right behind the team that has been performing on a supreme level all year. They give it up to the number 1 team in the country, Supreme, Atlanta Elite Supreme, holding it down for the number 1 spot. Back-to-back weeks, they are still on the road, Clay, and they've been kicking butt and taking names, to be honest with you. You can consider them in that conversation for the top 5 pound for pound team, as they've just been turning in back-to-back performances all year.
Bessemer. Listen, man, I think this is an age group that's going to be very competitive. Now, again, hey, right now I'm Team Supreme, right? I told those parents after what I saw them do in Panama that I was going to ride with them till the wheels come off, because they had been telling me all preseason, I'm screaming Bessemer. And they like, Clay, you have no idea how good this Supreme team is. And they showed me. But I will say this. When it's all said and done in the end, I think when you look at Supreme, Bessemer, Real Deal GEA, and that very, very impressive Lithonia Lions team, those 4 teams alone is going to make that 7U bracket December 2nd through the 8th in Wellington, Florida, must-see TV, right? Must-see TV. You got to call it what it is. It's going to be a blockbuster. We might have AG running from field to field with mobile cameras trying to cover it all. Like, I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it, right? Now, let's go and jump into 6U, Jonah, because, these 6U parents, they're not used to being up this late. They used to getting they hit
They talk about, man,
right
get
at the
them
beginning
old.
of the show.
They talking about get them old ass kids out the way and let these babies go to bed.
They used to getting they hit right at the
6U
beginning of the
should
show.
be young. Y'all should be in y'all 20s or something like that. So, y'all 6U 25, 29, 30. Y'all can stay up. Y'all got energy. We had to get them little 13, 12-year-old parent, them people in they fit 45, 50, we had to get them to bed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all young.
Already. All right. Start at number 15, representing Georgia. The Fairburn Flames. Number 14, man. And I can see them guys riding down, as I'm riding down the freeway when they practicing. The San Antonio Outlaws, number 14 6U team in the country. Sitting at number 13, my man, Coach Bird, always got him one. He always got him one up his sleeve. Maryland Heat. Number 12, Noonan Outlaws out of Georgia, another organization that every year they always find a way to have a bomb squad in the mix. And sitting at number 11, Baby Flock out of Missouri. Now, let's jump into this top 10 on 6U. Yep. Number 10, representing Alabama, the Matry Ravens. And I can tell you, I can show you my phone, Jonah. I got message after message after message about what they're going to do this year. and what they're going to be having around their neck and on their hand at the end of the year. And we're going to continue to watch this team. Sitting at number 9, Miami Garden Chiefs representing South Florida.
Call
Number
them the
8,
Gold Boys.
oh, okay, Gold Boys. I mean, that
Gold
one's a
Boys.
little average compared to,
Right, 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 right.
the street sweeper boys and all that, right? Uh Sitting at number 8, MBK Tigers representing Alabama. Number 7, Lauderdale Lakes Vikings. Now, here's the deal. Lauderdale Lakes came very deep, almost on all age groups, to Panama,
Yeah.
and they left very thin. So
Yes.
we gonna have to continue to evaluate and watch how this transition goes throughout the season. Sitting at number 6, representing Alabama, Tarrant City Ducks, right? And again, they come from that very strong league that they have with Alabama and a little bit of Georgia. So it's gonna be interesting to see who comes out of that league as champion. Sitting at number 5, the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, representing South Florida. Number 4, Atlanta Elite Wolfpack, a very, very talented team out of Georgia. It'll be interesting to see how they handle their regular season, considering they could be facing the number 1 team in the country in their own league. Number 3, True Motion Sharks representing Alabama. Now, it don't stop there, because the number 2 team in the country is also from Alabama, known as
Yep.
the Bessemer Tigers. So again, as we take a look at that, you've got 3 of the top 6 teams in the country, 50% of the top 6 teams in the country, all in the same league in Alabama. And then the
Wow.
number one 6U team in the country, my man Ken, my man Reg, Real Deal GEA
Oh,
Panthers. It's a tag team. They do it together, man. And
yes,
that's
sir.
6U right out the box, man. Boom squad,
Yeah.
boom squad, boom squad up.
Man, I like it, man. So this just telling you this is the direction we're going. Next week, 14U will jump into the mix. But we'll go ahead and release these on our social media so y'all can go ahead and screenshot and get the HD version so y'all can go ahead and beat on y'all chest till next week. And then we'll just, as we get in this season, but important games are coming up. Some important 11 new matchups coming up. And Clay's super excited about these teams just kind of getting ready for the new vibes, man, as we get closer and closer to the championships. I got to tell you, the teams to watch, like we can agree on this at least, Clay, is that Supreme, a team that you definitely have to watch, just really dominating the area. Real Deal, really looking good at the 6 and under. You say they got the inside track to the national championship right now. Georgia Eagles, they'll be going out to DEA. That's a game to watch, pivotal game. And like you said, is DEA for real? And we'll find out that matchup, because what I can tell you, the difference with Georgia Eagles this year, I think advantage goes to their offensive line. They got big boys. They really dominate in the trenches. I have not seen a team in their age group really match their tenacity at the line of scrimmage this year. And of course, the quarterback play has been exceptional. So we'll see if
Well,
anybody can challenge
I
them.
I can tell you
DA
this.
was looking good.
I think DEA is the real deal, if I'm being honest with you, right? I just think that it should have been proven in a back-to-back-to-back scenario like in Panama City, right? But I think you bring up the most important point of that matchup that's going to be determined by the Georgia Eagles offensive line. If you look at DEA, look at their previous 2 teams that won YNC national championships. If you look at the DNA on how they run their defense, they're going to blitz you, they're going to blitz you, they're going to blitz you. Now, when they meet offensive lines that can handle it, sometimes it creates problems for them. So that's going to be the
Yeah,
key. Can the Georgia Eagles offensive line handle the exotic blitzes that DEA is going to live or die by, right? I
yeah.
think it'll be a great game, though. I really do.
And a 13U matchup that the OG Ducks want to happen, they are putting out an official challenge for the national champions. They say they wherever their breeds will take their challenge, they want the action, they want it now. They say it can be in Georgia, it can be in Panama, it can be in Mexico, it can be in Nevada. They want the action now. So they want a public challenge to the rare breeds. The OG Ducks want that action now. So, hey, what better form than here for the rare breeds? We'll see how the rare breeds respond to that
Hold on,
for
hold
the
on, hold
OG
on.
Ducks
I want to make.
challenge.
Can I make sure I understand this? So the OG Ducks 13U wants to challenge the defending national champion Rare Breeds.
Since they're running scared, can you believe that, Clay?
It's interesting. That's interesting.
Do we have any rare breed representatives on here? Can is any rare breed
I say representatives.
representative from rare breed land? We have anyone here can verify? And do we have any OG Ducks representatives here? Can verify that this game is not really happening because there's one team that's just not accepting the challenge? Is this something that we don't know, Clay? But until then, man, we'll pay attention to the rooms and the forums online, Clay, about this potential OG Ducks versus Rare Breeds.
Well,
Would love to see it.
while we touching on that, Joan, I'm gonna drop some housekeeping information for those of you that have dreams and hopes of playing for that beautiful, youth national championship ring and trophy and necklace. And don't worry, I've got the prototypes coming, so I will show you what this year looks like, and just know that I got you. Now, but here's some things, man. Here's some housekeeping, right? If you're worried about your roster, right? Don't worry. I got the solution for you. A lot of people have been hitting me up talking about, hey, Clay, we forgot this kid, or this kid's parents didn't get they stuff in and Zorts and all that stuff. I got a solution for you. The roster is locked and closed. There's nothing else you can do. So no reason to even worry about it, right? We good on that. Over
Have a drink.
277 teams submitted their rosters for the Youth National Championship, which is amazing. It's like every year the number gets higher and higher, right? So if you feel like that you're going to be in the top 8, a lot of people want to get ahead early on the travel. I know our dates are a little bit different. Everybody was expecting us to be a week later, right? But no, we're going to be exactly where we are, right? It's a little close to Thanksgiving, but look at the bright side of it. Hey, we get you further away from Christmas so you can recuperate for it. So December 2nd, which is Monday, that's when certification is going to be. So you need to be in South Florida on December 1st. Don't do all that trying to travel on one day and certify the same day. We're telling you, get there the night of December 1st, right? So December 2nd through the 8th, YNC going down to Wellington, Florida. On Monday, we'll have certification. That's also when we release the brackets and we have our coaches meeting to make sure everything is everything. Then we're going to go games on Tuesday, games on Wednesday, games on Thursday. On Friday, we have the media day for our 2 teams that are in the national championship for every age level. And then Saturday, we will have 6U through 10U national championships. Sunday will be 11U, 12U, 13U, and 14U. And just like that, it'll be all wrapped up, man, and we will crown the absolute best teams in the country. Nothing even to be debated. Only the best play at the YNC. You know what it is. Let's go.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Well, man, not much to say after that, my man. We locked and loaded. We'll have some important messages coming up and things, some different tournaments, some different things Clay and I will be out to as we,
Yep.
we'll be scouting these teams as we get closer to the national championship. But, man, y'all just keep it playing. Listen, if you have a ranked position, don't think it's safe. Don't sit on the porch and think y'all can shut it down until December. You'll be on the outside looking in that on the rise position real quick while some teams that's out there getting the action in, man. So next week, y'all tune in. We'll have relapse on the rankings. 14 you'll be in. We'll have our new segments coming out, and then we'll be talking about some of the teams or some of the tournaments that we put our thumbprint on to go ahead and start seeing you guys get pushing to the next level, man. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. We want to make sure that we go ahead and tell you same place, same time next week. Clay, keep winning on the high school level, baby. I see y'all 2-0. You know what I'm saying?
2-0, man.
3-0.
2-0, and they've never been 3-0 before, man. So tomorrow night, if y'all see me turning up on Facebook, that mean we done hit 3-0 for the first time in school history.
I got my bottle ready to celebrate when the dog play. Let's do it, man. All right, Clay. Well, good luck, man, and all y'all youth football teams. Let's get it in. Let's keep it clean. We don't want to hear about no incidents on the news and things like that, man. Let's keep it clean.
Please,
keep y'all faces clean out there on football, in the football streets, man. Jonah Willard, Clayton Guillory, AG in the background, holding down football Uncut. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here on Generation X. Youth Sports Network.